The New Orleans Saints in the Dennis Allen era, this is now year 3 of the Dennis Allen era, and the one thing we can say has been consistent about New Orleans, they've been consistently mediocre in recent years. Remember, this team won 12 games and 13 games in 2019 and 2020. The last 3 seasons, 9 wins, 7 wins, 9 wins, 0 playoff appearances during that span. So Dennis Allen's, 16 and 18 here, dating back to his previous tenure. He's 24 and 46 as a head coach lifetime. We've got to call it win now for Dennis Allen. I don't think he'll be around if the Saints don't make the playoffs again this season. And as a result, we've seen a major house cleaning. Only one offensive assistant back for New Orleans. New offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak. He was in the 49ers staff last year. And obviously this wasn't, it wasn't a dismal offense last year. They finished number 9 in scoring, number 11 in passing. But it wasn't consistent. It wasn't good. They're hoping that Kubiak will provide a spark. And of course, Derek Carr last year, he left 3 separate games with injury. He didn't suffer a serious injury during that span and played most of the season. But Carr's durability, there's some concern there, especially because there really isn't a good backup situation for New Orleans. This has been a team that's been up against its salary cap-wise in every recent season. They were a kick the can down the road and let's readjust everyone's contract as opposed to let's do a house cleaning and get rid of all the veterans and get our salary cap back under control. And what that's left them with is left them with some holes on this year's roster. When it comes to the backup QB, Spencer Rattler, the 3rd rounder out of South Carolina, where that's where he played last year. Rattler bounced around the college football world. Looks like that he is going to be the backup for New Orleans, which again, if you got your rookie QB playing, it means that your season is not likely to be a playoff campaign. Here's a bizarre thing about last year. All year, no running back had a single 20-yard carry. Taysom Hill had a couple at the flex. But we think about New Orleans as a balanced offense, and the running game really hasn't been explosive, any stretch of the imagination. Now, the Saints did go 4-1 down the stretch last year. And Derek Carr, 14-2 touchdown to interception ratio during that span. They have some weapons at receiver. Chris Olave is pretty good. Rashid Shaheed, A.T. Perry, the tight end Juwan Johnson. It's not a bad unit when it comes to receivers. There are guys who can make plays downfield. The question is this offensive line. I've got a big question about New Orleans' offensive line. All right, they could replace 3 starters on that offensive line. The center, Eric McCoy's back. The right guard, Cesar Ruiz. They're the Reclamation Project in Trevor Penning. They have the number 1 pick in Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State. I have questions about the Saints' ability to run block and pass block, which is a concern for Alvin Kamara. Is obviously one of these guys we think of as an explosive back. The fact that they couldn't get the big gainers coming out of the backfield last year, I'm not convinced it's going to be the case this year. It's an offensive line. Again, it's not a hopeless offensive line. This is not a hopeless offense. And they did show spark down the stretch last year, but of course, it's a new offense compared to what it was a year ago, again, for Carr. And from a continuity standpoint, I have a fair few concerns about this offensive line. Talk about the defense and the schedule in just a minute. First, I'm going to ask you guys for one thing. If you like these videos, just give me a like. That's it. Just click that thumbs up. Makes all the difference. We're trying to get views, obviously, putting up videos, and the YouTube algorithms love likes. So if you like it, makes all the difference. Thank you for that. Comments, much appreciated. I'll be back throughout the month of July answering as many comments and questions as I can on these videos. And of course, if you want to subscribe to the Wager Talk YouTube channel, there's more than 160,000 of you who've already done so. What are you waiting for? We put out a ton of good free content on a daily basis. No reason not to subscribe to the Wager Talk YouTube channel. I also want to talk about my NFL season win report, which has just been posted. I posted early July for a reason. All right. Between the beginning of July and the beginning of August, nothing happens in the NFL, but the markets move. So if we can get our work done early, like we've done, as we're doing these team preview videos, then we can get it out to the clients early and you get the best of the number. So that report, the season win report, over the lifetime that I put it out, 100 wins, 50 losses, 3 pushes. That dates back to 2001. 67% lifetime. The big tickets, 16-4, 80%. This year's report right now has 5 plays, including a 5% big ticket. Last year we had the Green Bay Packers over 7.5 wins, for example. It's our 5% big ticket play. Made me sweat for a while. December worked out just fine. Then I'm getting a playoff win. Pretty good for a team over 7.5 wins. We'll see if we can get another right side with the season win report. 5% big ticket this year, 80% lifetime. Take advantage. Get that report right now. Use promo code REPORT20 at checkout. Take $20 off. Simple. Again, REPORT20 at checkout. Get you $20 off my NFL season report. 67% lifetime, 80% lifetime with the 5% big ticket plays. So, we look at the Saints defense. There are things to like, all right? This was a top 10 scoring defense each of the last 4 years. They were number 4 in takeaways last year, 29 takeaways, plus 11 turnover margin, tied for number 2 in the NFL. All right, they were number 4 on third down defense a year ago, 34% for the season. These are great numbers, all of them. You know, when you're a top 10 scoring defense, number 4 in takeaways, number 4 in third down percentage, number 2 in turnover margin. And with all of that, they were mediocre. They finished 9-8. There was a big concern in terms of the front 4, really the front 7, despite all that success. They only had 118 pressures last year, only 34 sacks, both NFL lows. There was a stretch mid-season that they allowed 125 rushing yards in 6 consecutive games at one point. And when you can't stop the run or get to the quarterback, that's a problem. The Saints were able to mask that very well last year, thanks to all the takeaways and the turnover margin. Can they do it again? I don't know. They signed Chase Young, edge rusher. He's coming off a neck injury. They've got a pair of 35-year-old starters in Cam Jordan and Demario Davis on the defensive line. The secondary really looks like a strength. Marshawn Lattimore, Paul Adebayo, really good at cornerback. The number 2 pick, Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Bama. He's someone who should help right away. So if that defensive line can live up to any kind of expectations, the secondary might be real solid. And this defense could be good again. But if that front 7, again, we have a guy coming off a serious neck injury and a pair of 35-year-old starters. If they have injuries and attrition, it's not a team with great depth. The defense could end up being a problem, which will be a bigger problem because New Orleans needs that defense to be good. The offense, pretty mediocre. From a scheduling standpoint, they play 2 Monday night football games, 0 Sunday night games. So not like the league's completely burying them. They have a couple of showcase games. They have a Week 12 bye. That's in the reasonable range. There are some, they play NFC East. All the teams from the NFC South play NFC East and AFC West foes this year. Their 3 extras are tough. Cleveland, the Rams, at Green Bay in December for Monday Night Football. None of those are easy games. And 4 of their first 5 are tough. They have Dallas, Philly, Atlanta, KC, all lined 9.5 wins or higher. Tough start, tough finish, tough schedule, and a coach who's on the hot seat. These aren't necessarily positive signs, at least in this bettor's opinion, when thinking about the New Orleans Saints for 2024. If you like these previews, give me a like. Thank you. And be sure to check out the next one. All 32 teams available right now from WagerTalk.com's YouTube channel. That's what I spent my June and July preparing for, and that's why I've been sitting here recording videos for the last few days. I'll keep doing it till I'm through with all of them. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the games. Best of luck with all your bets.